including a water truck. So that's a good sign that things are wrapping up on their end. The building that we're currently looking at with the rebar sticking straight up, that is going to be something I call the Lego. It is basically a structure with a lot of circles around it that are concrete structures in a circular format, and there will be up to about 7 of those. One of those would actually be an 8th that is just flat right on the concrete, and that is for GSE tanks. They will be using Starship grade stainless steel. In fact, it will look like Starships sitting there. They are 4 millimeters at least, maybe upwards of 5 or 6. 6 is generally what you would use in this case, but they could use 4. They're using 4 already, so they're getting some good practice out of that, and those will be at least LOX tanks, water tanks, nitrogen tanks, and perhaps even methane tanks made of stainless steel Starship type tanks. So it's all one large tank, about 100 feet tall or maybe a bit less, and they will be mounted directly onto those concrete structures. And then the building just behind that, we're calling that right now the electrical bunker. So there's a lot of electrical conduit running into that building. There'll be transformers, substations, all to run power for cooling down their cryo liquids, specifically the propellants like the LOX or the methane, that kind of stuff. To the right of that, we have the new bunker, which is basically just a bunch of control valves, as well as a heat exchanger and some other equipment in order to run fuel, specifically propellant, LOX and methane, to the Starship. And that's going to be to the far right here. So that's the stand you see just underneath the sign where it says pavement ends. Or above that, I mean. So that is going to fill methane for your Starship, and then a separate valve for methane for the Super Heavy. Same thing for the LOX. It's separate on both of those. So you fuel the system independently from each other on the Starship and Super Heavy. That way you can fill them up, detank them, pressurize them as needed. Then you have basically an air gas vaporizer, and basically between 2 large tanks. Those tanks are most likely to just be nitrogen and part of the cooling system as far as cooling off the propellant going in. That's what the heat exchangers will be for. To the right of that, you have just a small building, which is I guess you could call it the Hoppy control building. It seems to be related to Hoppy, since once they installed that building and got it all powered up, Hoppy started lighting up again after a while. And then just to the right of that, between those 2 buildings and on that vertical shed, is just a bathroom. Then we've got Starship Hopper. So Star Hopper is known as Hoppy. It took a 150-meter flight after 2 other hops. One was a incidental, like 4-meter flight wasn't supposed to take, and then the other one was a 20-meter flight. So it is just pretty much the Swiss Army knife of Starships. They've mounted pretty much everything and anything to that. So it was a vehicle that was built by a water tank company. So now SpaceX's, which is a basically a rocket manufacturer, is building water tanks, while a water tank company built Starhopper. Kind of an amazing journey there, a little bit of irony. But that vehicle now contains everything from lights to make it look cool at night, also to light up the work area, as well as speakers. Basically, it's got an air fiber system from Uniden, so it's got really good internet.
Hey, what's up,
hey,
man?
Lab. How are you doing?
How you doing, Thomas? All right. How about yourself?
Pretty good.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to chime in real quick about those little updates you were talking about at the launch pad area. When I took my tour earlier out there the other day, they were explaining to me that they got a lot of new lighting, kind of, I guess, not necessarily down lighting, but they're trying to go away from all the big spotlights to keep it, all the light pollution at night to a minimum. So they have a bunch of, he called it Tron lighting, and there's lighting
I saw
going
some
all
of that. It's awesome.
You saw some of it? Yeah, it looks pretty cool. They got it all layered up on all the walkways and all the bars where you're going up the stairs and stuff. I need to get out there in the next couple of nights and get some night shots of it. It looks really nice.
Yeah, we've got some Nerdle members out there who've been taking some night shots. It's been changing colors, so it looks like LED strips. But at some nights I've seen it's like been green and just this awesome Tron-looking effect. It is so cool. It's on each of the handrails.
Yes, definitely looks cool. Yeah, I do have Connor with us here. Connor K. He's with us here at the Rafter Roost. He may be doing some commentating here on the on this live channel that we have back this way.
Nice.
And also, Rusty was mentioning that there was some type of contest going on. We're going to be giving away some merchandise for something or another. Don't know exactly what it was. Something about the landing, and you know anything about that?
I haven't heard anything about that, but I think there might be something about the bingo. I think it was Starship bingo.
I think that's what it was. Let me check my messages here and see what she said.
All right. But I'm aiming for where I aimed last time, D3. That seemed to be where it likes to head towards, and apparently everybody else agrees with that area. But it's not quite right. It seems like D3 and D2 at the corner at the bottom seems to be a better spot. I kind of decided. So if I have to pick a spot, it's the four corners of that area. And
yeah.
It's like making my own block.
Yeah, she's saying merchandise giveaway for the guesses of the closest launch time and where it lands. I haven't taken a look at the grid yet, but I'm gonna. Do you know how many?
It's a 5x5.
5x5. I'm gonna say mid bottom quadrant. What 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna say four down and 2 to the right.
All right, so that would be B4 then.
Okay. That's
bingo.
What I'm going for. And launch time. Oh man, it's gonna be hard to gauge that one because it is really foggy over here still and hazy. We had a little peak of blue come out, just a little bit, and it's starting to go away again. And we can barely see the vehicle from here, so that's why I haven't gone live yet. I didn't want to go live and just give everybody a gray out shot.
Yeah, I was looking at Sapphires going, ooh, what kind of view do we have? Oh, it's gray.
Yeah, Sapphire definitely not going to see anything.
Yeah, I'm hoping it clears up enough that we can get some shots from Sapphire or Pearl or something like that. That would be awesome. They'll be fine as long as they can see a blob.
Do you know, are we going to be having any special guests coming in today?
Right now, he's live on scene, another location, I think just a little bit down an area that you're at, actually. So Olmo what's the weather like in your neck of the woods?
Well, I'm sorry. Say that again.
So Olmo, he's got he's probably next to you, pretty much. But was wondering what his opinion of what the weather is from his position.
Well, it's the same as what Lab said. I think I must be right near him because the same. It's the sun is poking through. It's hazy. I think I'm right next to it because I see the same weather.
So have either of you seen like a police roadblock in place near Raptor Roost or anything like that?
No, not yet. We actually have a couple of cars leaving, getting ready to pass our area, but there's no sign of sheriffs at this point over here.
I saw one car earlier around 9 a.m. just off to the side, but they weren't trying to block anything.
So does that area typically have some barricades or anything like that, or they just usually park their cars right in the road?
Right here at by the Raptor Roost turnoff, there's no barricades until it's actually time. And you know, actually, they don't. I don't think they actually had any barricades. They just parked two sheriff vehicles right there in the middle of the road and block them. Okay.
So yeah, it's always kind of interesting. It's like if they have barricades set out and ready to be put up later, it's like, oh, I see the barricades. They're on the ground. They're not up yet, but they do expect to move them or something.
Yeah, there's no barricades on this side. Now the soft checkpoint, they do have a barricade there, and you do have to go around. We did have to maneuver between it and the sheriff's vehicle when we came through earlier.
All right. So that's
I don't know if y'all
good news to see that the sheriff vehicle's going around. That's good.
I don't know if you saw on Twitter or not, but Commander Chris Hadfield is watching today.
Yes, he is.
And yeah, it would be nice if we get him on commentary. Mr. Hadfield, if you're listening, see if you can get a hold of us. We'd love to have you on for a bit.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from him. And one thing that just keeps like nagging me is, where did he come up with the idea of doing Ground Control to Major Tom, doing it in space with his guitar, singing it? That was epic and brilliant.
Brilliant, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, that's like an Elon move right there, where you launch your car to space. It's just awesome to have that kind of thing happen. So yeah, if to either Thomas EO1 or Stumpy 001, either will take your requests here.
Definitely. I'll try to keep an eye on my Discord account. It's kind of hard with everything going on here, but you can reach not LabPadre, but look for King Padre. That's the one that I check most often.
Yeah, love to hear from you. And thank you for the shout out. And your career has been awesome. Watching what you've done as an astronaut on the ISS and everything else. So, yeah, thanks for the shout out there. So, as far as time, like we kind of guessed at the location where this will land. What time do you think it'll take off?
Well, like I said, it's going to be hard. What time is it now? We are at a 12:02. I'm probably going to say 4 o'clock. I'm going to go for the 4 o'clock hour.
That was my guess, but I'll go for. I'll be the optimist. I'll go 3:45.
All right.
Let's see. Olmo, what time do you think it'll take off here?
I haven't watched enough of these launches yet. I was thinking 1:11, but I must be way off. I mean, how much prep to do?
They do need about an hour to fill up the vehicle and launch it, but they haven't cleared the site quite yet.
Yeah, I just saw a report that there's someone on the pad or something.
Yeah, they're still underneath the rocket, it looks like. They've got the boom lifts out, still checking underneath checking the Raptors out, making sure there's no cracks, dents, breaks, or anything otherwise, making sure this is still ready to go. Once they've done that, I think they're pretty much give it a green light to say, yes, we are ready, and then they will get their fully certified launch approval from the FAA, and then go for the actual hop attempt here.
242.
242? Oh, yeah, it's a good number, 42.
Front 242. How many y'all are old enough to remember Front 242?
I don't know that one. Do you know that one, Olmo?
I know.
It's a band. It's a band from the 80s.
Begin to show your age, Lab. I'm beginning to show my
yeah.
youth and inexperience here.
Yeah, it's an old techno band, techno 80s band.
Oh, I gotta look them up. Techno 80s is pretty fun stuff.
They got some good, awesome music back then. The wind's starting to pick up too, which will probably help blow some of this out. It is getting brighter, but although it's getting brighter where we're at, it looks like we're getting less visual on the launch pad.
Yeah, so the wind's currently at the Kopernik, or Mount Kopernik here. It says it's about 6.4 miles east-northeast with the gust at 13. And then that's picking up, so usually it's picking up means it's 25 to 30, which I don't think that would be in the launch criteria when you get that high, especially at lower level winds. The upper level winds will be worse typically. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue a little bit of what we call the Stumpy tour. So Stumpy's on the launchpad cam, and we're going to go through and.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and jump. I'm going to go ahead and jump off the mic for now and tend to everybody else over here. So we'll be back in touch, Thomas.
All right, thank you, Lab. Thank you, Olmo.
You're welcome. Look forward to those great shots we saw last time.
Oh yeah, thank you so much again, Lab, for doing that. You did amazing work last time, by the way. I just wanted to make sure you knew that. It was really good.
That was my first time, first shot with this tripod and whole setup that I had, and it turned out really, really awesome. Coming on the way down, I lost it right as it did the kick to come back, but
yeah. To put crew or cargo or other maintenance stuff into the building itself, and that'll be the building that will have a crane on it to be able to move not only the Super Heavy but also the Starship on top of the Super Heavy. So that will be part of the stacking system, and perhaps even in the future, if they build this, forward thinking, they'll be able to catch a Super Heavy booster with this tower, depending on its structure, and it's got a